Hi everyone, we're at the West Wickham Test Centre today, and what we're going to do, we're going to follow signs. Now bear in mind, 1 in 5 tests could quite easily be follow signs as opposed to a satnav. I mean, whatever you prefer. I mean, me personally, I think the satnav's slightly better, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to follow signs, and we're going to start following the signs towards Croydon, and then on the drive you'll see exactly what we're doing. Now there's no pupil involved. It'll be just looking at the area, looking at some of the roads, and may well be some dual carriageways, some faster roads. It'll last probably about 20-25 minutes, and we won't be doing any manoeuvres or any pulling up on the left or anything like that. It'll just be showing you the signage you could follow from the West Wickham Test Centre. And I think it's a good little route, this actually covers quite a lot. Anyway, stay safe. Remember, anything you're not sure about, please feel free to comment, like, subscribe. And if you've got a test coming up, good luck. And if you've got a test at West Wickham, you're even luckier, because I think it's a lovely test centre. When I say lovely, I mean every test centre has its little tricky bits, but I like West Wickham. Stay safe and good luck out there. Hi, we're at Rose Walk and we're going to follow signs. So watch closely, folks. We're going to turn left. Going to go down Corkscrew Hill. Always observe the signs, very, very important, as you can see there. Remember, this isn't a driving lesson, this is purely to get the idea of following signs. Now, assuming we're on driving test at West Wickham, I've been told by the examiner to follow the signs to Croydon, but I can't see a sign at this present moment in time. So at the bottom of the road there's a roundabout. I'm going to turn right at the roundabout, which is the third exit. Now we're going to go up the Addington Road, which a long time ago they used to call this the Mad Mile. As you can see, it's a 40-mile-an-hour limit, and if it's safe to do so, do 40. I still haven't seen the sign, but don't worry, because the examiner will sort of tell you until you see the sign, and then when you see the signs, then you will follow them. Bear in mind that when you are following signs, sometimes you may not see another sign for quite a while, so don't panic, just follow the road ahead until you see a sign. But I think I'd prefer a sat-nav, to be honest with you. I think I'd rather follow a sat-nav, but as I said, 1 in 5 tests, you could follow a signs. Now it's about 12:45 in the afternoon. Traffic's sort of moderate. It's dryish, but it's quite a damp, dull day, as you can see. And I'm trying to avoid the potholes as well. So, roads are absolutely terrible at the moment, to be honest. I mean, on a road like this, if you can be a bit progressive, get your speed up. I mean, obviously, if it's safe, try to get up to 40 or close to it. There's a roundabout coming up. It's a big roundabout, this. You can see there's a sign up there telling you what the roundabout is doing. It's like a map. Now I've been told to follow the signs to Croydon, and there we go. It's not that clear, but I can see Croydon town centre. Hope we're not going shopping. Now look at the road markings. Now, because I need to go straight, I need to make sure they get into this lane here, because that lane only goes left. I wouldn't really want to be in that lane and then cut across. That wouldn't be very ideal. So basically, keeping in the middle here, following it round, keeping a check on my mirrors, making sure there's no vehicles on my side there. And then, now this is tricky, I signal left here, but if you notice it goes into 2 lanes. But I'm not going to switch lanes. I'm actually in the right-hand lane at the moment, which is fine. I'm going to try to get over when safe. Now it is safe, I'm going to get over. We're going across the tram lines. I always get a bit scared in case a tram is going to come flying through, but fingers crossed. Now following the signs to Croydon. I haven't seen any more signs, so I'm getting a bit edgy. But remember what I said, you just keep going straight until you, I can see a sign now, so I've got to get into the right lane. So mirror signal over to the right. Okay, now I can get in either lane here, but I'm going to opt for the right-hand lane. Good. I've got across the roundabout. Okay, good. That's a relief. Following the road markings, going round to the right. There we go, Croydon, you see? And then I'm going to signal left. Obviously, I'm using my mirrors, checking my door mirror, and then going up this like dual carriageway. But what is the speed limit? It doesn't say anything. So if I don't see a sign that says speed, I assume it's 30. God, the road is in terrible condition. Look at it. Now I can see a sign that says 40. So I'm going to do 40 because it's clear. I'm going to show the examiner that I've seen the sign and that I'm capable of going above 30. I'm being a devil now. I'm nearly doing 40. In fact, I am doing 40. In fact, I'm going to overtake the tram. I mustn't lose concentration because I've been told to follow the signs to Croydon, and as I said, there might be large gaps in where I see a sign, so it's very, very important to stay focused and concentrate. Now I can see a sign ahead that says 30, so I'm going to make sure that my nose touches that sign at 30, which it is. Now there's a sign, it's not very clear. Let's have a look at it. Croydon is straight on. If there is a sign that's not very clear and it's been sort of covered by a tree or something, the examiner will intervene, so don't worry, they will tell you. Now, I'm in the middle lane. Am I okay with this? I hope I am, because I've gone into the middle lane. There's 3 lanes, one goes to the right, and there's 2. But I'm in the right now. Maybe the left would have been better, but I'm going to see how we go here. But it says you can go straight on across the tram line. Ugh, I hate going across those. I'm going to accelerate. I'm looking in my mirrors. There's nothing on my inside, so I can just get back into my position, which is fine. We've got temporary lights. I've got a dust cart in front of me, which means I can't really see around it, which is a real nuisance. Anything you're not sure about, you can ask the examiner. Obviously, don't keep asking the examiner things, but you know, anything bugging you, you can speak to the examiner. They're human, so don't worry, and they're nice, but they're not giving you a driving lesson, so bear that in mind. So you need to show that examiner what you can do. You need to impress that examiner with your driving, not so much with your personality. Although a good personality always helps, but this is about your driving. Now look at this road. In the middle it's got double white lines. I trust you all know what that means. It means you cannot overtake. You cannot cross them. Now this is 30. Again, that sign wasn't very clear, surrounded by trees and branches, and there's a nice speed camera there, so don't get flashed. You certainly don't want to get flashed on your driving test, do you? So far so good. Quite enjoying this in a way. Don't get carried away with your speed because it's slightly downhill, and it's very, very easy to creep over 30, so be very, very careful. Stick to the speed limits. Panicking a little bit because I haven't seen a sign for a while, but please don't worry. If that's the case, if anything, the examiner will step in if need to, but if nothing's said, just keep following the road ahead basically until you see a sign. Camera. I don't feel photogenic today, so now there's a sign. Now it's not that clear. Let's have a little look. I'm following the signs to Croydon and it's straight on, although there is East Croydon as well. I'm assuming it's straight, which I'm doing. And this is bad because this roundabout is so faded. There's a mini roundabout there, I could hardly see it. I mean, some of these signs are covered by trees and branches. It's really difficult. Now that dust cart is blocking out any sign. I can see a sign now. I'm going to follow the signs to West Croydon. So we're going to go right here. This is actually quite busy, this actually, to be honest with you. It's a fairly big junction, this. So I'm going to go into the middle and wait there safely until it's clear to go. That's good. Imagine it's all 30 mile an hour because there's no signs. It says road closed ahead there. I hope it's not. Oh, it's that road over there. Getting confusing. Now I can see a sign ahead of me. told to follow the sign to Sevenoaks, so which is to the right. But this is tricky because I don't know what lane to be in, so I'm going to stay in the middle. And there's the sign to Sevenoaks and Bromley, so I imagine if I stay in this lane I'll be okay. It's quite busy around here actually, to be honest with you. That's it, I can see the signs clearly. Sevenoaks, Bromley, Addiscombe. That's an unusual looking building up there, look at that. Blimey. That is unusual. Oh, I'll be glad when this signage is over, you know that. I find it quite stressful. Yeah, Sevenoaks and Bromley, I'm okay. I feel comfortable now. When you drive, you want to be in your comfort zone. If you go into an area you don't know, no matter how well you know an area, if you're an inexperienced driver, it's not easy. But that's a good sign there. Look, see how clear it is? I've got Sevenoaks, so I can follow that. I know where I'm going. Now there's a roundabout on approach. So I want to go across the roundabout and just keep going straight, so I keep to my left. I've been driving for about 15 minutes so far, so normally the satnav or the signs normally about 20 minutes, so but I'm feeling a bit more comfortable now. Because I can see the signs better. I feel slightly more in my comfort zone watching the crossing there. I say it's very, very important to keep concentration, not just worry about the sign. There's a sign there and it says Sevenoaks, so I'm going to sort of bear to the right, so I'll stay in this right lane for the moment, although I could have gone in the left probably. So it looks like I've done a complete circle. And there's your tram. So basically, I've gone around the circle, the same route as the tram. Right, now the lights have changed. I'll tell you, this is quite nerve-wracking actually. God. The thing is, I don't know this area that well. I mean, I know West Wickham, but I don't know Croydon very well, and I don't know Addiscombe very well. See, that's the problem. I mean, I know it, don't get me wrong, but it's not an area I'm that familiar with. Now, I'm an experienced driver and I feel a little bit edgy. That's why it's so important to practice on your chosen test area. As I said before, you don't have to hammer the test route, but these sort of roads you will need to practice on, because I wouldn't want to go in cold on this. Although it's a fairly sort of straightforward loop, the signs weren't that clear, to be honest, and that was the problem. But as I said, please don't worry, the examiner will be aware of that. And they're not out to trick you, but they are expecting you to be able to follow basic signs. And if you did make a mistake, as long as you do things safely and get back on track, hopefully it won't affect your test. There's more speed cameras there, look, a double whammy. see another sign, I think. Let's have a little look. Well, no, that's not really a sign directing me, is it? It's more telling me about different stuff. Oh, there's a sign. I can see it there. Lovely. Let's see what it says. I'm still going to follow the signs to Sevenoaks. So I stay in the right-hand lane. And now I can see West Wickham and Shirley. And the examiner has said, I want you to follow the signs to West Wickham and Shirley. So we'll go right here at the roundabout. Keeping it round nice and tight. It's a big roundabout, that. It's got a lot of lanes. I'm going to stay in this bit here, I think. Because that bit there says cycle lane, but I think you can still drive in it. But I'm going to stay in the middle. Now, the examiner has said follow the signs to West Wickham and Shirley. So there we go. So it's left. Good. And it still says Sevenoaks, which is fine. So I feel comfortable now. There's a lot of traffic, mind you. I feel more comfortable because I sort of know this area a bit better. And you imagine that's how you've got to feel as a learner driver. You want to feel comfortable. That's why it's very, very important that you know the test area. Like, so many people now are taking tests a long way away, areas they don't know, because the instructor or whoever's taking it hasn't got enough time to prepare you, or you don't know the area very well. I would say, although a lot of people say if you can drive, you can drive, which is true, but I would disagree with that in terms of a driving test. I would say most pupils, inexperienced drivers, would go on test. If they were to take a test in an area they didn't know and didn't have time to practice, the chances of failing would be high. And that's got nothing to do with your driving, it's to do with not knowing the area and being over nervous, which doesn't help. So I would say if you're going to take a test in an area, particularly if you don't know it, make sure you go there on a good few occasions. And if your test is early in the morning or late in the afternoon, think about traffic. And if it is an early morning test and it's a long way away, maybe think about staying the night there, because to be honest with you, getting your driving license is worth every penny. And if it means staying overnight somewhere, if it means having more lessons, then I would suggest doing it, because if you fail a test at the moment, the chance of getting another test is very slim. Well, you will get another test, but whether you get another one within a few months, who knows? I'm not going to put the mockers on you all. I'm not here to depress you, but reality is at the moment, the driving test situation is pretty bad. So if you got a test, nail it. That's the key. I think that route we've just taken is probably one of the trickiest routes. Although it's a circle, a square sort of going round, it's still an incredibly tricky route, to be honest with you. But again, if you were to practice it a few times, then you'd be very familiar with it. But again, there's no guarantee you are going to get that route. That is the thing. There are loads of different routes you can go on test. Now we're going straight on. I've opted for this lane because I saw the arrow, the road marking. But I noticed that you can also be in the left, which is fine. But I didn't want to risk going in the left because I don't know the area very well. And it might be a left turn only. So I've opted for this lane, which is straight ahead as well. But let's hope no one turns right. That's the only problem. Then I'm stuck behind them. But I'm happy with this lane, and there's not an issue. Although I've got vehicles on my inside now, I just keep my position and just keep going straight. You're doing nothing wrong at all. Right, now we've been driving for a good 20 minutes now. Normally the examiner would then take over, but I'm going to carry on back to West Wickham Test Centre. Because we're going to go through the high street, which is quite busy. It means another roundabout on the way, and then back to the test area, and then that is a good 25-minute drive. That drive we just did doesn't necessarily mean that that is exactly the route you could take at West Wickham, but take it from me, part of that route I covered could well be part of the driving test route. Not every bit of it, but part of it. But it was a very, very nice drive. It was quite busy. It was quite demanding in places, but again, if you're familiar, then it takes the stress away a little bit more. Familiarity is always good, and remember I said to you I felt much more comfortable when I was in my comfort zone, and when I got nearer to sort of areas I knew, I felt really comfortable. So that is what you've got to try to achieve on test, not to be too tense. And we're going to stop before that cycle area there, see? Try not to go into that. In fact, I'd say don't go into it. It's basically a straight road back to the test centre now, but it's quite busy. We've got a roundabout coming up, we've got a high street. And we now go into the Bromley borough, leaving the Croydon borough. Now at the roundabout we're going to go straight ahead. On this particular roundabout, that would be the third exit. So we're going to go round. There's the first on the left. There's the second. So I'm keeping to my left. Don't want to indicate yet. Get past that one. Check my mirror. Check my door mirror. Signal left. Keep tight to the left and exit the roundabout safely. Now, if I was on a driving test, it should be plain sailing now. Back to the test centre, hopefully. But remember, this is a very busy high street. It's a 30-mile-an-hour limit, but I would say along here you won't be able to do 30. You'll probably be hovering between 20 and 30. Because obviously there's shoppers around, there's cars, parked cars, vans. There's a lot going on, and it's normally quite busy, which is fairly busy at the moment. Now this guy's coming out, so we'll let him go. But don't get complacent, because you know you're getting near the test centre. Stay focused, don't switch off, because quite a few pupils can fail a test within yards of the test centre. Remember that. So stay fully focused until your car is stopped and the engine is off. Then take a deep breath. This is West Wickham High Street. It's a nice high street actually. It's got coffee shops, it's got everything you need. It's got an M&S, food hall, it's got a bank, which is unusual to see a bank because they're all closing down. There's a bank, Barclays over there. That 9-1 in Dulwich is closed, so that's good. A few charity shops, and my favourite Costa over there on the left. The lights are green. I've got to be careful here because they can change rather quickly, and it's difficult to stop sometimes suddenly, so you have to sort of make sure that it's safe. Gone past the Lidl, which means I'm very, very close to the test centre now. I'm nice and relaxed, but as I said, stay focused. Remember that. It's not done yet. I'd like you to take the next road on the right, please. That's just past where the driving test centre waiting room is. We're going to go into Rose Walk. The road's clear. I can go round comfortably. Oh, sigh of relief. But remember what I said. Stay focused until the test, until you're stopped and you've turned the engine off, okay? Now we're going to go left here. There's some guy walking in the road. I said, make sure the pedestrians don't do anything silly, because remember, your test is still on at the moment, so you don't want to blow it now. And would you pull over on the left, please? I'll go a bit further up because there's all driveways there, and I'll pull up on the left somewhere safe, and I'm away from the test centre, so I'm not going to get in anyone's way. Handbrake on, neutral. Whew, engine off. Whew. Now, folks, believe it or not, that was quite stressful, but I think I did enough to pass the test. But that route was definitely tricky, but you know what, doable. All you got to do is concentrate hard, listen to the examiner. The examiner's not going to try to kid you or fool you, and then just stay calm, do everything you've been taught, and I'm sure you'll be successful on the day. Anyway, stay safe, and I hope you found that useful, and please comment and like and subscribe. Anything you see on that video, please let me know. Stay safe and good luck with your tests. Woo. Anyway, well, how do you think I did? I mean, it's really weird, you know, when you try to not drive like a learner, but start doing stuff like this, you actually feel quite nervous. I actually think a pupil would probably do a better job than me, actually, on a route like that. I think I did okay. I think I did enough to pass, but that was quite nerve-wracking. But as I said, the most important thing is get the right amount of lessons. Your instructor will advise you, and there's no such thing as an easy ride, but we've all got our preferred test centres, and this is West Wickham, and there are loads of different routes. That route took us around Croydon, Shirley. We didn't touch Orpington, I don't think, but we followed the signs to Sevenoaks, and then back to West Wickham, Shirley, and back to the test centre safely. And yes, I got the result. Whee! No, but it's a great feeling. Stay safe, everyone. Please feel free to comment. And how do you think I did? I think I did okay, but it was nerve-wracking. I just get a bit shaky with those trams. I just find those tram lines, I keep thinking they're going to fly out and hit me somewhere. But you know, that's just me. It's a bit funny about the trams. But it was a good route, and there's loads of different other routes, but that was one I wanted to do today. Stay safe. Good luck with your tests. And remember what I said, make sure you're ready, prepare yourself, have extra tuition if needed. Remember, a driving test is a skill for life. Nail it. Stay safe, everyone.